welcome back to Pete Lemaster Music, and in today's video I'm going to talk about what is a relative key in the world of music and how do you find them and what does that actually mean. So this is a great beginner concept. It's a little bit of music theory and it'll help you out if you ever see something kind of confusing in music, which might be you're used to seeing like 1, 5, 6, 4, where the 1, the 4, and the 5 are all major chords. And so we've talked about that already a lot in this channel. That's a very common chord progression. But occasionally you'll see something written as a lowercase Roman numeral 1, and that actually means you're playing a minor 1, which means you're in a minor key. And so you may be wondering, like, how do I know what chords I'm supposed to play? Because basically everything we've talked about on this channel and the way most people learn how to locate a scale and the diatonic notes of a scale is based on the major 1 chord. So like in the key of C major, we've talked about at length on this channel, the key of C major is all of the white keys, right? It starts at the 1, which is the C, and then it goes whole step up to D, whole step up to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, and then half step back to C. So in general, those are the diatonic notes in the key of C. Now there's something in music called a relative key, which means in C major, there's a relative minor key of A minor, which actually just means, I'm going to throw a big music theory word at you here, they are enharmonically equivalent, okay? That's the word for it. It just means that all of the notes in both of those keys are exactly the same. It just changes kind of the overall flavor of the song. If a song is in C major, typically you're spending a lot of time on the C, the F, and the G major chords, which are very positive chords. If a song is in A minor, you're probably overall have kind of a sad or melancholy sound to it, and you're probably spending a little more time on the minor chords. That's just a general way of summarizing it. Those are by no means like hard and fast rules in writing music, but what I will say is when you're in a minor key, the relative major of it is what would be the 1 if that chord was the 6, okay? So another way of thinking about that is to find the relative major or minor scale. Always try to think back to C major, all right? So in C major, the chords are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and then this B diminished, which again, I'm not going to spend too much time on the B diminished, but those are also the chords in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. And if any of what I just said there seems like it's a little past your understanding of music, just be sure to check out the beginner piano lessons tutorial playlist on my channel, because I cover how you come up with all of that in a lot of detail. But so assuming that part made sense to you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1, then what you need to understand is in the key of C major, the 6th chord is this A minor, okay? Which actually, when you have a 1 major, so C major, the 6th chord is how you find the relative minor of a key. And so the 6th chord in the major scale of C major, the 6th chord of A minor, is the relative minor key of C major. And so all this means is that the notes you would play for like a solo or to be in the key of A minor are the same exact notes you would play for a C major. You just, instead of the C being your 1, the A is actually your 1. I hope that's not too confusing to think about, but now you're saying I'm in the key of A minor. So that's kind of my tonic, if you will. That's like my home resting position in the key. And so if it's the same for any key though, if you're in the key of F major, then you can find your 6, which again, you would have to be comfortable counting whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And so you would have to be comfortable finding the 6, but if you're in the key of F major, and you know that that means your 6th chord is the D minor, then D minor is the relative minor key of F major. And the whole point of this kind of counting exercise and understanding this is not to confuse you. If you were to write a song in F major or D minor, there's markedly no difference other than that's typically used to refer to the overall mood of the song, but the notes are the same, the chords that are in play are the same. It's just now, instead of writing your F, I guess, as your like major 1 and then D minor as your minor 6th, you're kind of saying this is my minor 1st chord. So it's just a useful bit of music theory to be familiar with and comfortable with, and it's just it's really simple once it kind of clicks for you that for any major key, the note that would root the 6th chord in the major key is the minor relative key of that key. So it's a useful tip for singing and songwriting. It's a useful tip for just understanding when you sit down at a piece of music and you see that something's in A minor or D minor or B flat minor, whatever. You're in a key that you can find the associated major key for it pretty easily, and then you can find all of the notes that are in that key, and those are going to be the same notes that you can play around with when you're soloing. So basically, if I were doing an A minor solo or harmony bit and I wanted to play some melody over top of like an A minor, it's still going to be all the white keys. The biggest difference is just like if you're looking for the root to kind of come to a rest on, you want to sort of slow your melodies down when you approach an A, whereas if you're in C major, you might want to hover a little bit more on the C. It's a useful thing to know because for melodies and solos, resting on the root note of your 1 chord or your tonic can be a really useful way of sort of resolving a solo or a melody. So if you know that you're in A minor, that maybe tells you spend a little more time on the A, but if you're in C major, spend a little more time on the C. But other than that, the same series of notes are what you'd want to play as a solo over top of either of these. It's all the white notes. So I hope that made a little bit of sense. If you're here like playing an A minor chord and then you switch to like a C major chord, first off, the 2 chords that make up the major and minor relative keys that are enharmonically equivalent will always sound nice together because they're half of the same chord. I don't know if you can see, but a C major is C, E, and G, while an A minor is C, E, and A. So even the chords are made up of 2/3 the same stuff. And in general, the 1 and the 6 in your major key, which kind of make up, I guess, the 1 and the 3 in your minor key, they are the same key, the same notes, the same chords inside of that key. They're equivalent. It's just you want to understand what that verbiage means. So in the world of music, that's what a relative minor and relative major key is. I hope you found this useful. If you have questions about what you saw in this video, be sure to let me know in the comments below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. If there's something in particular you want to see on the channel in the future, just let me know about it in the comments below. I will try to make a video on that topic as soon as I can get to it. So until next time, thank you for watching. Good luck with your piano playing, and until next time, bye.